I'm Jeezy the Builder. You know, we out here, we chilling. This is a big time for us. Day after, 2 days after elections. Actually, Thursday election was on
Dust.
Tuesday,
Dust day.
and we still don't know who the president is. We have no idea, no idea at
Dude,
all.
man, we won't know until I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. And we won't know until Saturday night.
Saturday night, you think it's Saturday
Saturday
night?
night. Yeah, Saturday night. It's the weekend. They can't announce it during the week because the people are already up on edge that the world is gonna come to an end and it's gonna be a civil war and everybody gonna die. So
Right? And,
Saturday gonna give enough time for the rich people who can fly to their private island, and all those
right,
people that's on the stock market can work the stock market for the week, get out of
right.
town for the week. You know what I mean? Give people enough time to kind of situate themselves. So we won't know until Friday night, Saturday morning. That's when we
Okay.
know that Mr. Biden has won. You understand? And that's my prediction. And
that
then
that actually kind of makes sense in a way.
hey, it's my madness, my logic, my madness, my logic. I've been thinking about it. I'm like, why would you crash the financial market at this present time? Because right now there's a lot of money being moved around.
Right.
Because basically the country, they're trying to decide who's going to be the next president, right? So with that, being that funds being going from here to here to here, it's a lot. So they can't afford to lose that money. So, and then again, to secure these people to have their private bunker on their private island, to make sure that they're well secure, just in case anything does pop off. The rich is going to be okay. Us poor people, fortunately, yeah, we just gotta ride the wave.
uh, you're right. I never thought about that. The Saturday, because I thought it was going to take a lot longer, but it seemed like a lot of states did move on. I don't think Pennsylvania would be done, but I think that some other states would be done.
Mhm.
Um, Georgia, Georgia's going to have to do a recount. That's
Okay.
what's going to go down. Georgia's going to have to do a recount, and because Georgia has to do a recount, they won't be done. But it won't matter because I
Mhm.
believe one state and one state only will actually end this, and that state is Nevada.
Nevada, yeah.
And because if anyone knows, let me do a quick screen share, real quick.
Hmm.
And I know this is not usual for us, but hey, it's all good. A
It's
quick screen share,
we're modifying. We're getting up into it. Look at that. Yeah.
and you could tell, straight up that Nevada is the state that
Hmm.
Joe Biden needs,
Hmm.
and he's leading it. If Joe Biden gets Nevada, that's it.
That's it.
You can call
That's a
you can
wrap.
call it a day. It's a wrap.
That's a
Because
wrap.
all these other states was he surprised people with Wisconsin. He surprised people with Minnesota. He surprised people with Michigan. You know what I'm saying? So he gets Nevada. Oh,
That's it.
you already know Arizona.
Arizona. He's already counting Arizona. So Arizona is a wrap. He's done.
He's done.
Yeah.
So the only states that are left are Nevada, Georgia, which Georgia, by my surprise,
Hmm.
is a 0.2% difference
Yeah.
between them. And I've been watching this, and it's been Biden been catching up. So what they're doing right now is, even though they say 99% has been reporting, what they're doing right now is counting those mail-in ballots.
Yep.
And as they count them in, Trump is losing.
Yep. It's crazy.
And to me, it's like, hey, one of these two states is going to go to Biden. I'm leaning towards Nevada. Nevada said they should be done by today.
Yeah.
I remember seeing on the news that they were saying like 10 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock their time,
Yeah.
which is we're on the East Coast,
East
which
Coast,
is
yeah, it's
means it's
like
later, way later in
later,
the
like
afternoon
12,
for
1
them.
o'clock. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But it's like at this point, at the time we're speaking right now, it is
Hmm.
4:54
Hmm.
in and on the East Coast. They ain't done counting yet. They ain't,
Nope.
they ain't done counting yet.
Like I said,
So
you know, they're done counting. They just, again, it's politics, man. It's all politics all the way to the end,
you
all
think,
the way to
nah,
the end.
man,
I'm
no, not
telling you, it's
Nevada.
all politics to the end of the way.
Nevada. These are states like Nevada and Pennsylvania. These are the type of states that they wait to the date of election. Like
Hmm.
Nevada didn't start counting until the morning of the mail-in ballots, and they got a flood of them too. And same thing with Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, they had a flood of
Mail-in
ballots.
ballots. Hmm.
Yeah. So and Pennsylvania is worth more. It's 20. So Trump gets Pennsylvania. It makes him closer. But when you do the math on it, he can win Pennsylvania, North Carolina, which is was it 15? He'll still need to he'll need to really win out the rest of the states. But
to get it.
To get it. Like we can be waiting on Nevada, but if Trump gets Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia, and then get Alaska, he won.
Yeah.
You know, Alaska, I consider he already won it since it's like a 62 to 33% vote. Only even though half the votes are in, like it's Alaska. Like I don't think they've ever been Democratic for a long ass time. So it's a big deal, man. But since we're on at the win of the week, like you wanted to say, it's Arizona.
Arizona was a surprising, man. That was to me, that was a shocker. I didn't expect them just because of recent past. I mean, they're literally one of the first state that would stop a migrant person, if you didn't have your immigrant person, if you didn't have your ID, they deport you back to Mexico. So for them to be, blue, hey, that's a sign right there. You know what I mean? That's a sign right there.
Well, they're blue because they have a lot of Mexicans or former Mexicans or the new generation of Mexicans who lived there, who are U.S. citizens, who are now voting. So unlike here in Miami, where we have the Latin Americans, a different type of Hispanic race, pretty much, they're being raised as Republicans and stuff like that, mainly because they're if you don't, people who are outside of Florida, the whole campaign Republicans push down here in South Florida is Democrats are communists. And these group of people are running from that because Cuba and Venezuela, they're communist regimes. So these people are fear of anything, in that realm. So it's very weird they are, but they are. It's one of those things that they keep, the Republicans keep coming down and pushing over and over again. Like they won't help them for anything, but they let them know, like, we'll never become a communist.
Exactly. But this is the thing, though. I also read, I don't know if it was Sun Sentinel or whatever, that about 27% of the mail-in ballot in South Florida remain like undelivered, right? So, because I was like, I know I dropped in my mail-in ballot this weekend, and I'm like, that was too fast. South Florida never counted Florida's usually one of the last state.
It's different down here, and then ever since that whole Gore and Bush thing, they changed the whole system. Right, we don't do the punch holes no more. We do the bubble in. So there's no more hanging chads to worry about throughout the state, and they changed the whole system pretty much. And the reason why they was able to do it because as soon as early elections, like early voting happened, they started counting. So as soon as the election day come out, they already had numbers because they started counting since early voting. Like, hey, since you're voting, we might as well count now. Why wait to the day of? Like Pennsylvania, if they waited to the day of, we'll still be counting today. It's just way too many people.
I still don't trust the South Florida having. I need a recount and addition of the counts that aren't count yet. So to get the right,
it doesn't matter because from
it's already called. It's already called. So I know.
It's not just like from Palm Beach to Miami, it was all blue anyways. But the big difference is Trump took a chunk of that blue in Miami because the group of Cubans and people from Venezuela, from that part of South America as well, who just don't like communists, that group of people grew.
So it's the funniest thing to speak on the communist standpoint of it, right? When you look at Trump's rhetoric and his mannerism, he's more of a communist leader than anybody else. You understand? He's more of a dictator, than anything. And any of the politicians that are there, the candidates that are there, right? And I'm just like, how can you guys look at this guy in a Republican Party, this guy specifically this guy, not a Republican Party, but this guy, and think that you're going to vote for this guy and not be voting for communists, or because all of his things, from deporting them to the way that he held out on paying people for the additional funds that was supposed to be sent out, he decided to hold it until after the election. Kind of a bribery. That's some dictatorship right there. Like, if people out here are literally losing their home, people out here literally, starving. You know what I mean? The American people. This.
Well, you understand, it's not just him; it's him and the Republican Party too.
Yeah,
because the Republican, the Senate and the House don't need him to pass this.
I understand, but what I'm saying is, he, how many times have he said, "Nah, I'm not going to do it right now"? You understand? Even though he doesn't.
Yeah, but he said, like, we wait until after the election. So if I win, we'll get this
like
money.
I said,
if I lose, we don't get this money.
Most people are dependent upon that funds because a lot of people lost their jobs, and a lot of people, unfortunately, $200 or $100 that unemployment is paying them can't, and that's the reason why a lot of these states actually flipped. You understand? So to me, we're down here in South Florida, and a lot of these people down here don't make. Whatever they make, I guess, okay money. But for them to see the Democrat Party as a dictatorship and look at Trump and say, no, look, he's not a communist or a dictator. It's okay.
Well, what it really comes down to is when while Gore was running to become president, the whole Emilion thing happened. So the kid who was on the raft, his mom died, but he made it here. You telling them they don't. They hold grudges.
I know they don't get over anything.
They hold grudges. And ever since then, they no longer vote Democrat.
Yeah, and that's the messed up thing about it. The simple fact is, like,
it's not just that. Their politics all lean Republican. So if you're a politician and you're Cuban, you're not a Cuban Democrat. You're a Republican Democrat.
See, my thing is like this. Like, they love telling Black people to get over slavery. Every time we bring up slavery, we talk about slavery, and slavery is so inherent in our DNA why people treat us the way they treat us, and they always tell us really quick, "Oh, we need to get over it." Same thing I'm gonna tell y'all like to tell us. Get over that.
The Cubans don't tell us that though.
What?
That's a different group of people.
I know. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about every Cuban. Like, let me be specific. Well, I got some great people, Cuban friends. I'm not talking about them. And my great grandfather is a Cuban. I'm not talking about. I am talking about the people who literally thinks.
But you gotta understand, most Cubans are considered Afro-American, right? Because they're dark. Most Cubans are darker skinned. Most of them are.
Have you met the Cubans in Miami? Would tell you that they are white. They tell
that's a different type of Cuban, right?
Exactly. I'm talking about those Cubans. I'm not talking about the Cubans that I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ones who check off, I am white. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the person I'm talking about.
It's less of them, but even though more of them do run, like Marco Rubio, he's more of a. I'm not sure what I'm not sure if you consider him as a white Hispanic or a black Hispanic. I know he has to check one. I'm guessing that too. He is, but if he is, it's more of him, right?
Listen, in this country,
the mayor who's now a senator, he more likely will also do the same, even though he's not as white as Marco.
Yeah, listen,
right.
Listen, in this country, let's be real. Let's be 100% real. In this country, if you can advance your family, advance your career, advance your entire livelihood by checking a box because your complexion matches that box, 90% of the people in this world would do it. You understand? No one want to go through and check a box that equals to struggling, bro. Like, no one wants to sit here and say, I like how they struggle. That struggle look real and it looks good. I want to go over that kind of struggle. No one. So if Marco Rubio can advance himself by saying, I'm going to be a Republican and I'm a white Cuban, I'm going to check that box. Every person.
Well,
life, you know what I'm saying?
He's Republican because he was smart enough to know that, hey, the votes I need to make it to the Senate are from my area, and they all vote Republican. So that's the party I'm going to join. Why would I join another party knowing that I'm going to lose?
Like I said, I can't be mad at him. I can't be mad at him. I cannot be mad at him. I can't be mad at anyone who used what's in favor for them right now, what's popping right now for them to get ahead in life. And that's why I can never be mad and say, oh, I'm blaming this person. I don't blame, listen, I don't blame no Cubans that voted for Trump at all. I want no one, I want everybody to understand that. I'm not mad at nobody. Listen, I'm happy you went out and vote. The people who didn't went out and vote, those are the people who are assholes, because those are the people who decide that, oh, but they're the first ones to start crying when something don't go to their favor, right? Because they sit at home right now, oh, it don't make no sense to vote. Even if you don't vote for the president, there are other stuff that's on that ballot that's supposed to be helping all of us that you need to go check off on. So forget the presidency. If you don't want to vote for the president, okay, I understand. But make sure you go check off those boxes that do something for your neighborhood. And I don't want to hear you complain when all of a sudden you see a prison bill around your neighborhood. And you wonder why the prison bill around your neighborhood, around your home, because you didn't go check off on box 22. That's your fault. You understand? Those are the people I'm talking about. But for everyone who did vote, thank you. That's the part of the American, the part of what's I'm looking for, Jane? That part of when you're American, that
the American citizen, American pride, and
American
that's
pride,
one
man.
of the wins, right? That's one of the wins. Especially the one I had is the Americans who went out to vote. This year was the biggest turnout. Since even over Barack Obama.
1900.
Yeah.
To the 1900.
If you registered to vote, you came out and voted, and you showed.
And those are the people. So like I said, I can't be mad. I can't be mad at anyone who went out and cast their vote. Republican, Democrats, independent, all those people who went out and cast their vote. I'm happy you went out there and you did what you got to do. Your party win, boom. Yes, your party win. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know what I'm saying? All we could do is move forward like civilized people, not like savages want to go shoot each other and kill each other in the street for no apparent reason because your party lost. You know what I mean? Now that's stupid. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it done in Jamaica, and all these people who are glorifying it, all these crazy people that live in the woods that are glorifying this is not something that's nice, because when that war does come to your front door, because it will come to your front door after you started it, you're not going to like the result of what is going to happen. These people, you think that you can go up against regular civilian and the government, and at the same time, it's not going to work that way. You understand? What's going to happen is the government is going to level you all out like you ain't nothing, and then you're going to be mad. Mm-hmm. Understand? Then you're going to sit there, swallow for another 100 years, and then you're going to talk to you. You want to build some statues about some hero that you never had and all this rubbish. You understand? You need to just understand that we are a society of a civilization of trying to move forward. Forget this black and white crap. You know what I'm saying? Just move forward. You know what I mean? Democracy is about you disagreeing with me, and then we come to the table and deciding what makes sense. That's all it is. It's not someone telling you on there that, oh, if I lose, it's rigged. You know what I mean? And if I win, it's all good.
Yeah, right.
That's all I'm saying, man. But it's been fun watching this election on the excitement of how people are interacting with it, but it's been annoying because of all of the stuff that's been going on. That's the cause of one campaign party, one person who's feeding into a group of people who truthfully need to just wake up and realize that this is not the 1800, this is not the 1900, this is a 2000. We're trying to do something different. We're trying to create a new set of people. One people, you know what I mean? That's the only way we're going to be better, if we won. Come on, man, watch Star Trek or something, bruh. You know what I mean? Enjoy life. So, I mean, stop watching freaking Star Wars and thinking that you the Republican and man, cut that shit out.
That's right, man. Let's get into the muck. The muck, man. It's the American people, and you already started talking about it. It's truth be told, I think even after the election, everything calms down. All depends on who wins or loses. Mm-hmm. I think if truth be told, I think if Trump wins, things will go back to normal quite quickly. But we're kind of still screwed because COVID has spiked, and it's spiking, and it's not just in the U.S. It's all over the world.
So Mexico just closed down for 14 days. So
Yeah.
Mexico is closed down. You know what I mean? Europe is closing down. You know what I mean? And we're next.
So we're looking into another lockdown. Even though our state governor said, like, we're not doing it over again. I don't think he's gonna have a choice.
Yeah, now with the rising cases going on right now, I just got like a call from my little brother. He works at a hospital, and unfortunately, I mean, he's doing okay, but he caught it. You know what I mean? And so he has to, quarantine for a couple of days right now. And he lives by himself, so but
it's crazy quarantining by yourself.
Oh yeah, but he's on social media every minute.
So he has company.
he's officially a troll. Like every time I post something, I'm like,
he's there.
He's there. I was like, all right. I have to call him. What, are you bored? No, I'm just trying. I've done. Is there a PS5 coming out? Go buy one or go have fun with that or something. You know what I mean?
Play some video games for a while.
But yeah, man. But it's crazy. Like it's going up. It's increasing.
Yeah. But there's good news. Like if you do catch COVID, just the treatment's much better now. Mm-hmm. Chances are you won't automatically be put on a respirator and dying. Mm-hmm. The cases are going up, but the death rate are not like as crazy as it was earlier in the year, which is somewhat of a good news.
It's a good news for the healthy people, but for people who do have these conditions, they need to be.
Even the people, even people have, you still have to be very cautious if you do have conditions and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But even people with conditions are actually pushing through, which is a good sign, right? So can't complain if you're pushing through it. Mm-hmm. And then if Trump loses, I think we're gonna have small cases here and there. I don't think there'll be big deals, but this whole voting election might go on longer because there's going to be Trump supporters and people who don't support Trump protesting and doing all types of stuff. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, a lot of antics going out there.
It's going to happen. Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a while, and especially if Trump puts out a call, because he's already putting out lawsuits out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, left to right.
One of the lawsuits allow his lawyers to go into Pennsylvania to watch. I'm like, well, you already have Trump supporters and you have Democrats, and they're watching. So what are you going to do? Well, then again, they're lawyers, so they get paid. So the lawyers won't go out there and watch. They'll have people representing like legal aids.
Legal aids, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna send them out there to watch.
It's the quickest $200,000 you can make in your life. You know what I mean? Right. I wish I was a lawyer at this point.
And Trump is notorious of paying lawyers. Like I think Trump spent more in his lifetime paying lawyers than anything else.
Yeah, that's the reason why that's to keep. I mean, all the scandals that he's been through. I mean, the last couple of
it's beyond scandals. He uses it as a tool. So it's like, hey, I spent $200,000 on this. I was still making like $500,000. So I come out of here with $300,000. So it's a win.
Right, Listen, it's a businessman. He's smart.
Yeah, it's a businessman.
I mean, if I can afford it, I would do the same exact thing. Why wouldn't I not sue everybody? I got the money. I got the time. He's like the old guy that's on the couch on the porch all day. You got the time. Ain't go nowhere. Ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean?
So, but then again, like he's really fighting this. So I'm kind of thinking that he's also afraid that as soon as I'm also thinking this, like he's going, like generally, if he loses, he'll leave the White House and his powers basically in January. Mm-hmm. There's two ways to go about it, because I think he's afraid to go to jail. And I'm already kind of planning his escape plan, because he can use Air Force One, right? Saying that he's gonna do one last visit to Russia,
and
go to Russia and never come back. Right? Take his whole family, to Russia. And probably not all his whole family, maybe not his older kids, but
not Eric. He doesn't like
that.
He'll
take his youngest kid and his wife, and they'll go to Russia, and they, it's like, hey, and then Air Force One comes back without him,
Yeah.
And he just stays there. It's like, yeah, you can't do nothing now. I'm here, and he'll probably do that in January, wait till the last minute and stuff, and he won't be there doing the handoff, right? And while he's in Russia, he's going to spew out a lot of crap, like, oh, stolen from me. So I'm hoping he doesn't do that. I do, what I'm saying, if I really have a high chance. I think there's a high chance of him getting arrested after his term is done.
Yeah.
So
I know that's what he's fighting
he's
for dear
being,
life.
yeah, I think
dear
he's fighting
life
for dear
that.
life.
Yeah. Because
Like,
think about
dang.
that's why I was talking to a good friend of mine the other day about regarding that. I mean, like, listen, Trump has so much cases against him that are pending, and because he's the president of the United States, they put no hold until can't charge him until further notice. So he's like, if I could stay in office longer, it's just buying time. You know what I mean? Buying time to get his money.
Something out.
Exactly. I mean, he's the only president I know that fly across the world as the president and do business on the low with other countries. And you're like, bro,
yeah,
what? And then the American people, I'm sorry, but these people who are voting for him based upon how they feel, their feelings or whatever case. Like I said, it's okay, but but you don't see what this guy is doing behind your back. Matter of fact, forget it. In front of your face. You understand? Yeah, in front of your face.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't mind him doing it in front of the face because I believe other presidents and other people in power were doing it behind our backs.
That's true.
I know that the Clinton Foundation's doing a lot of dirty stuff behind the foundation. We're doing good. Hey. I learned of this after they left the White House, and well after a certain time period, you find out like, oh, this is not a good thing they did. There's some people like Watergate, they got caught during while
some people just don't got that luck, the Midas luck.
Right, exactly. And for maybe Obama didn't do some stuff, and maybe he did. Joe Biden's son, some of it has to be true. Like maybe he did tell a person or two, like, hey, I'm the man that connects you to my dad, the vice president of the world. This dude is on coke and having sex with random people. So, he's living his best life. Why not, add that extra, like, hey, pay me $200,000. I'll connect you with my dad. I missed a phone call right now.
Why not? Why not?
Like, my dad might not make you a deal, but at least you get his ear, right?
I'm gonna give you a seat at the table for the seat at the table is $200. What's the difference between them having their dinner? They paid $200,000-$300,000 to go to this dinner. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a fundraiser dinner. What's the difference between that and what he did? Nothing. He just like, I'm skipping all that extra formality and I'm giving you direct contact to him. Now I'm taking the money. My pops don't know nothing about the money. I'm just saying, hey, pops, this is some guy I know and he want to have a 5-minute with you. Understand?
Yeah, conversation. And if anyone who worked in sales, the best lead, if you're willing to pay a lot of money for a very good lead.
That warm marketing lead, man, that freaking that personal reference is the key. Understand? Yeah. It's the key. Now, my father don't know I took $200,000 from him. I mean, listen, I'm making my money on the side. They come to me. They were like, hey, I need to sit down with my father. And I'm like, hey, listen, to talk to me, it's free. To talk to my father and get you that connect. Now, I'd ask for $1 million. listen, it's nothing.
He might have, right?
Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing. Right? Listen, I can't blame the man because I'm sitting there, I thought about it. I was like, listen, what is the difference between having a fundraiser? Would you have a fundraiser?
I believe Joe is clean anyway. So it's like if he gets on the phone with you for 10, 15, and Joe likes to talk to people, everyone knows that. So everyone knows it. On both sides of the party, everyone who wanted to was like, yeah, this guy will call you and to see how you're doing and stuff like that, and have conversations.
He's a cool dude.
He's the kind of person who know who your mother is. You know what I'm saying? It's like also Mr. Roger Neighborhood type shit.
Yeah, he is, man. Yeah, I mean, he did his flaw stuff, but he's still that. He's always a homely guy. Like, hey, what's up, man? You good? Everybody good?
Yeah.
Da, da, da.
So so it's like, hey, you're a friend of my son. Da, 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 da. And then and next you get that warm lead, and they like, it's like, hey, I got this project. I'm working on this nuclear plant. You know what I'm saying? We need you to talk to Obama to get that Paris Accord going, so we can get this plant up and going. If you guys can do that for me, they'll be grateful for me. Like, maybe he said no, maybe he said yes, or maybe he was like, think about it.
I think about it. You know what I mean? Think about it meaning hell no. You know what I mean? But hey, listen, you got that one-on-one conversation with them,
right?
You know what I mean?
And how much that worth to you?
Exactly. So $200,000, I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't. Personally, I don't. Because I know a lot of people take more money less than that. So off of that subject.
But the whole thing is that that was done behind everyone's back. Trump is doing this stuff like out in the bold. You know what I'm saying? Everyone saw the photo with him.
But that's the thing about Trump, right?
In Iraq? Was it Iraq? It's somewhere in the Middle East. Like all of them had their hands on this white ball and stuff like. It was looking weird, like power. It was some weird shit. So, but he's doing these deals up front. But he's not president. Which, truth be told, I do kind of like some of Trump's stuff because he's not a politician, so he's upfront, he's brutal when he speaks and stuff like that. And the way he talks and his mannerisms are like, okay, I understand this guy. Like Obama, he can talk to people, but he seems so smooth and slick with it that
he's a politician.
He's a politician. Yeah,
he's a lawyer and he's a politician. He's a lawyer
which
and
is
a politician.
A very dangerous combination.
Yeah, he's a lawyer and a politician. He could talk, and not to say I sound so cross, but he could talk the panties off of any broad. You understand? Because he's a lawyer and a politician. You understand? You see, like I said, I don't hate Trump. I just hate the fact that Trump could not denounce, all this racial shit that's happened. The reason why we have this major uprising of white power, white people thinking that, these white crazy people out there, is because Trump would not deny it. You understand? And that's the only thing that I truthfully don't like about the guy. He's like, dude, you can't sit here and play with people's emotion because, you know what I mean? Because all it's a game for you. Yeah, you are you're an egotist. You may be a little bit of racist, but you're also an egotist. And these people feed your ego. So because of that, you are willing to not go ahead and denounce them. And like I said, I have no problem with the man, except for that one major key factor for me is that because again, when my family walk outside, when your family walk outside, and then these racist people see them, the trigger is already there already, and Trump let them feel like they could shoot you down in the middle of the street and get away with it.
And get away with it, right?
And that's the only reason why I'm like, whoa, dog, I don't agree with them on that standpoint. You can't say there's very fine people on both sides when one side is marching for equality and the other side is marching for locking up people back into the 1800s, put them in a chains, to kill them, to and all deport them, do whatever they that kind of savagery. I can't agree with him on that. But so all the stuff that I like about him, that major thing outweigh everything else. Understand? Because trust me, it took me because I did a mail-in ballot, and it took me an hour to decide who I'm gonna vote for on the mail-in ballot. And what I mean? And everybody thinking, oh, Kirk, you're Democrat. I'm not Democrat. I'm independent. So I'm looking, and as I'm looking, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, and I'm weighing out in my head. I'm like, okay, like I said, I don't mind Trump because I was a business owner. For business, Trump is good. Joe Biden, he's
already said he's going to add taxes and stuff he did in the past has already put a world of pain on us. And I don't trust the Democratic Party, because I don't think for years they haven't done anything for.
They haven't done shit for any people of color. Let's be real.
And you had a black president.
Exactly.
You did something about healthcare and the LGBT.
We gave them 8 years of a black guy, and 8 years the black guy did nothing for the black community, for the Latin community. Only community that got a little bit of support is the LGBTQ community. Yeah, oh, kudos to them for getting that, but we ain't get jack. All we got was much more hardship. You understand? In the sense of, oh, you already know what's that about. I ain't gonna go down that path. But what I'm saying is, so this for the Democrat Party, it took me a while to be like.
But even before him, right? Because when they had presidents and they had the whole Senate. Oh, we haven't discussed like how they're getting flipped on the Senate and in the House, but I think it surprises on both sides. But when they had complete control, they still haven't done anything.
Still didn't do anything.
So it's like, why should I trust them for all these years?
Exactly.
Like, and to be told, Arizona, I saw an interview in Arizona, and they were talking to pretty much Hispanic over there, but it was mostly Mexicans. Hispanic from Arizona, which is one of the big reasons why they turned blue. And they said, the guy said, like, we're gonna do this one time, but we want to see some stuff go
results.
our way. Yeah, we want to see results because
man.
if not, we're gonna stop this. You know, like we're not gonna vote for you no more. It's no point. You know what I'm saying? Giving us hope and stuff.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm like, and Republicans
do the promises Republicans do they do.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing about the Republican Party. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're cold in their delivery, right? Yeah. They're very cold in their delivery, but at least when they tell you something, they try their best to get it done. You know what I mean? Right. But with the Democrat Party, I feel like
especially when they have power.
Exactly, especially when they have power. You know what I mean? And I feel like with the Democrat Party is that they just try their best to go around everything because they don't want to. They stale everything. They slow motion everything. But then again, you got to remember the Democrat Party is the party that won slavery anyway. So I don't understand why Black people are Democrats in the first place. And even though, you know what I mean, I'm like, yeah, I voted for Biden because I had to look what outweighed what Trump is saying,
you
know what I mean, compared to what, you know, even Biden, because Biden said, oh, if you're a Black, you can vote for me, whatever. That kind of pissed me off a little bit because I was like, what do you mean by that? You know what I mean? And, you know, and then
if you don't vote for me, you're not Black.
Exactly. And then looking at his past stuff that he have done, and the simple fact that, you know, he's looking to do a different kind of reform on police, but not reform. I mean, right. So that made me
which is right. I understand that. Like you can't reform the police. There needs to be a different way of handling the police, but you can't get rid of the police.
Of course,
that makes no sense.
And by all means, I would never vote to get rid of the popo. I only voted for him because when he sat there and said, okay, we need to have therapists go out for these kind of calls and do this instead of having a therapist go with a cop. I was okay, that makes sense. You know what I mean? Whereas Mr. Orange guy could not give us an answer. Well, we got big
because he won't leave things the same with that.
We got big things coming, and we're gonna go to the left and we're gonna drive a car down fast, and you know we're gonna figure what?
I'm not gonna lie. I went through the same like kind of back and forth pros and cons. What it also got me it was Trump's. Didn't want to denounce it, and when I watched it and he didn't want to denounce it, I was like, "Wow, dude! Like you can literally got my vote."
Yeah, and he would have got it,
and you didn't do it. Like,
no,
like what's going on? Like Trump doesn't like Black people.
Yeah,
like, and it's weird because I've seen plenty of videos and photo shoots and photo ops, and I do hear about the prison reform he's doing. Like he's done some good prison reforms, even better than Obama did.
But those are off of. But that's the thing, though. That those are off of Barack Obama's first plan. All he did was he kept it. You understand? He kept it.
He kept it and did it. But Obama had 8 years. He didn't do it. That's what I'm saying. Right. It's one of those things. Like he's done.
When you've been filibustered left to right as a Black man, how much what you could do, bro?
He's the president. He can sign things in.
Of course.
That he could have signed the things in. Like Trump signed it in.
There's a lot of things that like I'm mad about Barry for because you know there was the law that came up for
the whole healthcare, he signed it in. Barack Obama didn't filibuster, he signed it in. He forced it. So he could, as a president, he can force things through. Obama had a chance. Trump did it. That's the biggest difference, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But my whole thing is that I know the historical Black colleges needed more money, needed like a good chunk of money. Obama kept setting it up so that way they had to keep coming back over and over again, right? I think every year or every so often to keep coming back over and over again. Trump set it up like, all right, we'll give you this money, but you don't need to come back no more. You know, you don't need to come back for more. Signed it. He got the photo out for it. Cool. You know what I'm saying? They knew the people, the presidents and stuff of those schools knew like, hey, you know what? Even though this is Trump doing this, but we got what we want. He got his photo op. That's the deal we had to do, right? We got the money. We don't need to come back here begging for money over and over again. Now we actually we're getting money for these. If anyone ever went to HSBC, it's really doing a Black Historical College or university. Those federal funds are not the same compared to like the state university. Now you're getting way more than they used to, and they don't need to keep going back every year or every so often to get it, which Obama could have ended, and he didn't either. So that's one. It's some things that I like, but I also heard that Trump done some other things, but for some reason they're not coming out with it. I'm like, are you doing? Is all this doing it for your base? Is your base that important? Like, you can grab a new base. You're president now. Grab a new base. Like you was on a reality show with Black and white people and Hispanic people all watch your show. Everyone loved the show when he was running it. You're fired. Everyone loved that stuff.
That's why people voted for him.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest reasons why people voted for him. So at this point, you can denounce the Proud Boys. You'll probably still get another group, or the Proud Boys be like, no, he just said that because he had to be on TV or whatever.
Exactly.
Do that for the TV television. You could have kept. He could have done a lot of things and went about it differently. I think either he's truly has a strong racist side to him, which he does have a history of that too. My biggest problem too is also with the Democrats is that, and it's the Republican Party, and I think things are going to start changing, is that they're putting these old white men. I think maybe Republicans, but it might happen to the Democrats. I'm leaning more Republicans that eventually, because now we had a Black president, and chances are we're going to have a Black woman VP, which the only reason is a Black woman VP is because everyone knew for Biden to get a chance to win, he needed to get a Black woman VP.
Yeah.
Even the white lady that was on his short list, she dropped out on purpose and said like, "Yo, you need to choose between one of these Black women to be your
bottom
VP."
line.
Bottom line. If you're trying to win this, I don't need to be on your list.
Exactly. If I'm on your list, you're not getting there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you choose me, you ain't getting there. It's a
truth will
lose.
be told.
So so everyone knew like, hey, you need to get a Black woman, and that was my lean towards Biden. Like, yo, you have a history, but look like this lady's gonna help you correct some of your wrongs in your past. And I'm hoping that she does, and it happens within your first 4 years, because if everything stays as the same or feel disappointed, you might struggle. You might not be there for another 4 years. And you might not need another 4 years. You might just need to do these 4 years, and both of these parties need to come out with some younger people and have a different point of view, because we're choosing between two elderly white men.
Two old white men, elderly, old. Let's call it what it is. These guys are like
elderly,
dinosaur.
Elderly, yeah, man.
Dinosaur. No, elderly is like I just
we need younger, like
Obama.
Obama won. I was speaking to my wife about it. One reason Obama won, he was young, Black, and
vibrant. Yeah,
and vibrant. You know what I'm saying? He was able to go to. He was able to Trump and what's called had a hard time going to all these cities and states. When you're running for president, you got to see a lot of places. Obama was able to do it because he's young and vibrant, and it's like, we hit 5 cities today. That's nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You know what I mean?
it ain't nothing to me. They need to go younger. I think we should, since the Hispanic vote is coming out, I think after this election, and people start seeing like, hey, why they lost it, because both sides are looking at, hey, how we lost this, how this got flipped and stuff like that. Was that like, you were surprised about Arizona? I'm guaranteed a whole bunch of Republicans were surprised about it too. And they're gonna notice like, hey, we probably need to change the type of candidates we put up here. There's gonna be a Hispanic person running for president within the next next 2-3 terms gonna be running, and they're gonna be one of the top candidates too. I was kind of leaning Marco Rubio because he's been running for quite some time, and he's a Florida state senator. He's a senator for Florida. He's well established in the Republican Party. He's not super young, but he's not super old either, and he can. there are some things like mannerisms about him that kind of like, oh, what the hell, man, But I don't know. Maybe they might give him one of the best teams to work with, and he actually might take it. And that will kind of change the course of history. It's like, hey, first Hispanic president,
Yeah.
It's gonna change the shape of the way America. Then it's gonna come down to, but Republicans are the way they do things is they don't go after cities, they go after the rural areas, and the rural areas are full of racist white people.
Just uneducated. Let's call them uneducated. Let's call them uneducated.
Uneducated
people.
It's right. Yeah, not all racist.
Yeah, no.
So
the thing is, I think that.
But
they're racist. No, Gene,
I don't want to use uneducated because you can go.
No. What I'm saying when I say uneducated, I don't mean book smart, or I'm talking about academia. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about uneducated as in the simple fact that they have never met a black person before, but they prejudge us before they know us because they're still watching the old doctrine from 1800 and feel that way. So that's what I mean by uneducated. And they're watching these people who tell them that, the black people are going to come in.
They're homeschooled. They're homeschooled. And
they're
homeschooled.
Like
they're taught a certain way.
Exactly. So my thing is that I'm speaking on the uneducated people who have never sat down across another person of color and formulate an actual friendship or a bond, and then deciding, you know what, I may not like that person, not collectively saying, well, they all ain't no good monkeys sitting there eating up our welfare money. Dude, you sitting on welfare. What the hell? I work every day of my life. You on welfare. You know what I mean? You over there making love to your cousin name, whatever her name is. You know what I mean? Dude, you need to stop looking at the mirror, because that's what they do. They put up this mirror, and instead of the mirror seeing themselves, it's reflecting on us. You know what I mean? On us, who for hundreds of years, all we've been trying to do is live, baby. That's it. We're just trying to live. We're trying to live, have a job, make some money. Can we live? You know what I mean? Make some money. You know what I mean? Find a nice person, settle down, have some kids. You know what I mean? That's it. Like anybody else. That's it. Yeah. So the animosity and the anger and all this extra shit, it's bullshit. Bullshit. You know what I mean?
All right. So I think that's it for today.
Yeah, bro. We still, like I said, man, we still got another day before we realize who is who.
I don't know. I think I like your idea. I think you're kind of like, hey, let's, because like the NFL, like when they want to drop bad news, they drop it on a Friday because they know people are too busy. They're getting ready for entertainment and stuff like that, and people won't pick up on that, right?
Yeah, they're not gonna.
So they know what days to drop good news, what days to drop bad news. So yeah, dropping that over the weekend on a Saturday, not too many people will go crazy about it, especially on a Saturday night. It's Trump wins. You're already home Saturday night. It's like 8:00, 9:00, and you're like in a movie. You're looking at Twitter or something like that, and you're like, oh man, he won. It's over. There's nothing you can do about
pretty
it.
much.
You don't get out right there and go protest. It's like, no, like it's over.
I like already got a couple drinks in me. I'm relaxing now.
Yeah, exactly. You're relaxing right now.
When you wake up on Sunday, you're like, did Trump win? Hold on. Hold on.
But now you slept on it and stuff like that.
Exactly. So trust me, they're not gonna do it during the week, because during the week, right now, you got work, you hate your boss. I mean, boss been pissing you off all week. You know what I mean? And COVID, you still got to be here. You know what I mean? I'm gonna choke this dude out. I think you're a Trump supporter, or I think he's a Biden supporter. I'm gonna choke this dude out. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm waiting till you're on the weekend. You're having a good time. If you're down in South Florida, you know what I mean? You may be on the boat somewhere chilling.
I don't know, but Nevada is getting closer and closer, and Joe's losing his lead in there. He still has lead, but he's losing it slightly. He's losing slightly, and he lost. Look like he lost a county, but he has like Reno and Vegas, which is two of the biggest areas in Nevada. And Nevada doesn't have too many people, but in those two areas they do. All the rural areas,
the major metropolitan areas.
Yeah, metropolitan areas. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so we see what it is, man. We keep posted, and we jump on next week, and guess if we don't hear no right, and we're good.
If the world hasn't ended yet.
Yeah, if the world not ended, we'll be back next week.
All right. That's it for the combo. Hopefully appreciate it. We're on YouTube, so like and subscribe if you can. If you're on Twitch, you'll find us live. We don't do live shows all the time, but when we do, we do. We also on podcasts, and look at your favorite podcasts, and you can find us there. If you're on Spotify, do a search, The Combo Show, and we're right there as well. You can watch and see our latest past episodes on YouTube or through our podcast. And if anything else you got to say, Kurt?
Be safe out there and enjoy your day.
All I got to say is peace.
Peace.
All right.
Yeah, man.